here, so we know Table Topics is about impromptu public speaking. And just like our friend David, I've got questions. They're a bit of a different nature though, David.
Alright.
Don't worry. The first question I have tonight is, because of the lack of funds, your family has planned to do a staycation this summer. What will you do in and around the area for a 2-week vacation? Horace?
Well, this year, my vacation is definitely, oh, sorry. Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This year, my vacation that I've been planning is definitely not going to be a staycation because I'm planning to go away. However, if I didn't have that option, what would I do? I think Florida has some amazing parks, and I love parks. Not theme parks like you go to in Orlando. I like things that are closer to nature. Right here in Boca Raton, for example, I discovered a park. It's west of 441. It's called South Winds Park. It's a beautiful park. Instead of walking a military trail like I do in the morning, if I was on vacation, I would drive out to that park. My husband and I would walk around for hours. I'm one of those crazy people who think that's something wonderful to get out and walk. So I would walk for hours without having to get home at a certain time, commune with nature. The other one that I know in Boca is out on Federal Highway. There's one where you can see manatees on the Intercoastal. I think that's amazing. I would go to Wakota-Hatchie. I would go to Green Cay Nature Center. I would go to the Everglades and do that boat ride thing that you've done before, but I didn't dare to do. So I would find lots to do, and it would all be outside, because since I'm from the islands, the blistering heat doesn't really bother me.
Thank you, Horace. That was great. My next question is, your closest friends have called you up with a challenge to scale Mount Everest in late August. If time and money are not issues, are you in or out, Gary?
Table Topics Master, let's take the assumption, since money and time are not an issue, I'm in. Would you be in? I'm in. Why? This is why. I like dares. I like new experiences. I like things difficult, don't you? Aren't you motivated by challenges, Duke?
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen all those great Facebook postings. What a ball you had. I see some of the other postings that you had. I would rally. I would get people involved with my visit there and my climb. Much the same way that the sex slave trade has brought about a lot of notoriety to, is it Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa? I believe that it is. And that we could take money for the walk and give it in a benevolent way, in a generosity spirit. We missed the thing. And give it away to people who need it in that area. Table Topics Master?
Maybe we should take a vote on that. I think Gary should take his wife. My next question, pick a U.S. state you've never been to. Why would that state make a good vacation for you, and what would you do while you're there? Duke.
Yes, Toastmaster Doctor. I knew I would be called upon, so I was trying to think of some way to get the Red Sox into the picture, because I know he's a huge Red Sox fan, and I just spent 10 days in New England. In terms of the only state that I have not been into, visited, that I would really like to would be New Mexico. And I've been to most of the states around there. What I would do there would be to make the timing so that did that great balloon fest that they have, where hundreds of gaily covered balloons are floating in the air. The other thing about New Mexico might be visiting Pueblo or some of the cities there. And of course, in New Mexico, as opposed to Florida, I think it's dry heat instead of the heat that we all are familiar with. That's my visit, and we'll talk semester.
It's your birthday and it's a weeknight. How do you spend your ideal evening, Cynthia?
My birthday came up for debate with my daughters. Daughter Laura, who lives with me, she says, "Mom, do you want another party this year?" And I said, "I don't think so. It's a weeknight, it's a Thursday night, it's hurricane season." She said, "It was hurricane season last year too." "But we got the party, why not?" And I started thinking, I have a lot to do. I'm working on the bucket list. "Mom, I hear about the bucket list every day." I said, "Well, when you're 76, what else do you have to talk about?" And she says, "Mom, there are many things to talk about. Let's talk about our September vacation." So we talk about that a bit, and that's pretty much planned out. She said, "So what about the birthday?" I said, "You know what? I'm going to my Toastmaster meeting." I say, "You are?" He says, "You don't want to go out to dinner?" I said, "No." "Why not?" I said, "I'm working on the bucket list." And the bucket list is really working on my speech that I want to give, hopefully if I get accepted next year. She said, "Mom, you work on it every day." I said, "Well, here's hoping that in my 76th birthday, before I hit 77, I will be talking at TEDx Coconut Grove. And that, my friend, is how I spend my birthday. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Next question. A long-lost uncle you didn't even know about has died. He left you $1 million US, but there's a catch. You must spend it all on a vacation before June 30th.
Nope.
What's your vacation like, and how will you spend the whole $1 million? Susan?
Table topics master and fellow Toastmasters. And guests, that would be me. I have been lucky to travel around the world, but actually there are some places I haven't been to, and here's my ideal vacation, of course with Duke, and it can be done by June 30th. And that is, I would get a private jet, and maybe invite some friends, and we would go, obviously first class with sleeping accommodations. We would fly to Australia. And Australia is very big, and the great way to see Australia is actually by small plane. So we would see the entire country going by small plane from airport to airport. And then I'd go to New Zealand. And Tasmania, as you may or may not know, is right nearby. So we could do all three. And Tasmania, I do not believe has cars or wheels, so you have to hike through Tasmania. and we would dive in Australia. And you all know the famous dive spot, which eludes me at the moment. So we could blow through $1 million by June 30th and have a fabulous time.
You just got a phone call from an anonymous benefactor. You're told in very vague terms, go to the airport and pick up your airline ticket. Where's the destination and why? Judy?
Much like Forrest and like Susan, there are two things I love. One is being outside, and two is adventure. Australia is a place that I will never get to in my lifetime. I would like to think that I would, and maybe that benefactor is right here in this room. And he'll leave me that ticket to Australia so that I can go and dive on the Great Barrier Reef. I had a cousin who was a forest ranger major at the University of Colorado. She took a job as a guide on the Great Barrier Reef for 5 years. It was amazing. Her next job was in Yellowstone Park, counting the ability for wolves to be reintroduced. She would go out for days up into the mountains and camp by herself. I don't have quite that much courage, but I could see myself in Australia with a nice ticket to fly all around, going to the Barrier Reef, then being a Crocodile Dundee and going and see the Aborigines. It has so much to offer and so many different animals that I'd never see anywhere else, that I could create my own National Geographic experience.
The elections are over, so it's after November. The government has decided that in an effort to save money, we're eliminating one state. Which state and why?
Oh my God.
Eliminating a state. Which state and why? I like all of the states. I don't know that I could say one that I would eliminate. There's actually one that, Alaska, that I'd like to get to that I haven't been yet, so I don't want to eliminate that one. Okay, I can't think of any state I would like to eliminate. Since I can't think of one, let me tell you about my upcoming vacation. I'm leaving next week, and I'm taking about 20 days with my wife and another couple, and we're going to Europe. And we're doing a 7-day motorcycle trip through Germany, France, Austria, Switzerland, and this little thing called Liechtenstein in the middle. Thank you. So we have 7 days on the bike, riding through the mountains, and I'm looking forward to tasting all the different foods. The Wiener Schnitzel, I'm told to have like the pizza and the wine, and we're going to visit some wineries. Looking really forward to this. After the motorcycle tour, then we're renting a car, and we're driving from Germany. We're going to Stuttgart, and we're going to go to the Mercedes-Benz factory. My friend wants to do that. The girls aren't so interested, they're just going to shop. I don't think they're going to go to that. And then from there, we're going to go to Normandy Beach, and we're also going to visit a couple of wineries, because the girls love to drink the wine. And we're going to end up in France. So the last 3 days, we drop off the car. We're going to be in Paris, and we have a hotel already scheduled. And it's 3 days of walking around, looking at the Eiffel Tower. And we're not going to go to the Louvre, but our friends are. And it was just flooded. They had to rain over there. They had to take everything out and put it back. And it says, well, you're not going to go see the Mona Lisa? I think I could live without that. I've seen the picture enough times. It doesn't really matter. So that is my trip. I don't really have a state I'd like to get rid of. I'd like to keep them all. Maybe get a few more. Thank you.
That was great, Dan. I'm sure the trip will inspire many more speech topics for you.
Yeah.
So we have time for
Have a whole
one more?
One more.
Okay. What is the oddest thing you absolutely have to take with you on vacation? Pam?
The oddest thing I need to take on vacation. I guess my husband. Take him everywhere. I am a planner, as many of you know. I'm not an impromptu kind of person. And when I take a trip, I start planning what I'm going to pack, depending on the trip and how far and how expensive. I might be thinking about it a month ahead of time, at least 2 weeks ahead of time, a week ahead of time. I start setting clothes aside, figuring out what outfits I'm gonna wear each day. I put my running shoes in first, absolutely, I pack my running shoes, and my running staff, and chocolate, gotta take chocolate with me, or chocolate money, depending on where we're going. My husband, on the other hand, prefers to pack about 10 nanoseconds before we should be at the airport. So it's a stressful time each time. This past month, we traveled to 2 different states for 2 different weddings. And we had purchased, I took him kicking and screaming to purchase a brand new outfit, head to toe, Men's Warehouse. They just kept bringing stuff out. I said, okay, whatever you want, we'll just buy it, because I wasn't gonna be able to take him out shopping again. So we got brand new shoes, brand new suit, the brand new shirt, the little doodad for the pocket, the tie, the belt. And neither trip did he manage to get all of those things packed. That was the only outfit he had to pack, his only responsibility. So he did okay for his daughter's wedding. We managed to piece things together for that. For my nephew's wedding, he showed up, he did not bring one of the very expensive ties that we brought. He had to borrow one from my brother, who wears a tie not very often. And I bought him a brand new belt, and instead he brought the 100-year-old fishing belt that I So when I travel, I pack everything that I need, and the most difficult thing that I pack is my husband.
That was great, thank you. Cam, I just have one question. The chocolate money, is that the foil-wrapped chocolate coins, or is that money to buy chocolate?
That's cash to buy chocolate. When you go to a hot place, sometimes I have had some chocolate disasters where it didn't travel as well.
Okay, that's all the time we have for Table Topics. Thank you.